Vincent Van Gogh, people told him, you can't be a great painter, you only have one ear. You know what he said? I can't hear you.
Listening to Sippin' Sports, a Phillies sports talk morning show with KJ and Dalt. Proudly powered by 302 Birds. Let's take it to the show.
Good morning, 302 Birds Nation. Happy Saturday. As you guys know, sound's about to get a little bit more crisp because I realized the mic wasn't on. Now it's on. Game day! The Philadelphia Eagles play football today. I am blessed to be joined today on the show, of course, by our guy, the man, the myth, the legend. Nice new facial hair as well. Sports. He's taking a page out of KJ McCoy book, not Dalton, because Dalton's still 30 almost, and he can't grow any facial hair. Boom! And then last but not least, we got a special guest who's been on the show before. So Philly sports royalty, one of the best minds and Flyers I know. Frosty, how you doing?
Doing all right. We got a big day today. We got 3 Philly sports teams playing, and I'm a little worried, but I'm hoping for a 3-0 Saturday.
I am too, and what a great way to open up the show. I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of things on the slate, a lot of eyes on the TV, a lot of opportunity to yell at the TV. Broad, what do you got on tap today? I mean, also, like I said, facial hair looks good, man. New look. You got to keep it around.
Of course it looks good. I mean, I can wear anything and it looks good. You know that.
I love you, dude.
But I'll tell you this, though. You know what? All I'm waiting for is that Eagles game. I don't care about nothing else. I just watched the Sixers win last night and beat the Knicks. Outstanding. We got the Eagles tonight. I'm ready to cuss out my TV. I'm ready for that. And you know what? The Phillies ain't going to make any moves today, so I don't have to worry about that. So you know what? It's going to be a good day. It's nice outside. It should be pretty warm out. So I'm fired up, man. And I think we're going to get into the Eagles, but it's a big time day. Big day.
Big time day for sure. And the phone lines are open if anybody wants to call in. If it glitches out, you can blame it on Elon Musk. 302-316-4848. It is that Starlink Wi-Fi. Trying our best out here, all right? But let's go ahead and get into our first topic, and we'll kick it to our special guest. I know he's brought a lot of knowledge. We're going to do a little bit of a Flyers pulse check. What's your read on this team so far, Frosty?
So it's a tough one. And for those that follow the Flyers a lot, you know that this team has been in a rebuild, if you can call it that, for the last 5 years. Since 2020, the Flyers haven't made the playoffs. It's one of those things where, what's the direction of the team looking like? They turned over management. But now they bring in a new coach, and suddenly they're winning games. The Eastern Conference in the NHL is super, super tight. But the Flyers are sitting in a playoff spot right now, about 30-plus games into the season. So that's very exciting. But because of this, there's a lot of question, a lot of drama surrounding the team, and a lot of it is around young superstar Matvei Michkov, because last year he had a phenomenal rookie year, and this year he hasn't quite looked the same. And there's a lot of questions surrounding, is it the coach? Is it him? What's going on there? And it's a hellstorm, to say the least, on social media, because everybody has their opinions, and it's a mess. My biggest thing is, if I had to take a thing, is you look at a guy, he's from Russia, English isn't his first language. He's 21 years old. Not every guy comes in the league and takes over right away. I think people need to be patient. But then you want to look at the broader things. The question becomes, is it the right move for the Flyers to buy now and try and squeak into the playoffs? Or is it to just, ride the wave and end up with a lower bottom pick in the draft, so that way you can really build the team and get a little bit deeper there? So it's definitely a contentious point to be in for this team, because they're really not built to go deep into the playoffs yet, but they're on that cusp. So it's kind of like, what should they do? It's very difficult in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it is hard to get a read. What do you think, Broad?
I think for me, Flyers aren't my first team, and I think that's an obvious thing. I think to be a Flyers fan, like you're just like a different breed when you watch them. It's different, but to me, the Flyers the past couple years. I mean, the one year they had a good season, then they crumbled. They lost the last however many games of the season. Well, like 2 years ago. But I think what's cool about this team is that you can actually sit down every night that they play and watch a competitive hockey team. It's not like they go out there and they fold and it's just like, what's this slop that I'm watching? You whatever the drama is, whatever issue, you go out there, you watch the Flyers, and you're watching a competitive team that is like young, fast, energetic, and just like, and that's the same thing with the Sixers, right? Like you can actually just sit down and watch them play basketball instead of watching slob. And I think that's what's cool about the Flyers. So I'm not going to say they're going to go on a run or anything like that, but I'm just saying we can actually watch competent hockey in the city of Philadelphia.
I think that's a great way to put it. I mean, I think I saw a quote the other day that I thought perfectly summed up this team, is that they're the type of team that can beat anybody on a given day. But on the flip side, they can lose to anybody on a given day too. So you take the good with the bad. But I mean, I do agree that this is the most competitive team we've seen in a while. The most excited that you can actually sit down and watch a game. But on top of that, this is the most chatter in Philadelphia media that I've heard from the Flyers in a long time. I mean, I've been hearing radio stations talk about the Flyers, and I haven't seen this in a long time. Now, granted, I think they could probably spice up their hockey knowledge just a tad, but a lot of it just comes down to how will this team develop their young guys. That's kind of the big thing, because I mean, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but going back to Matvei Michkov, he's like the franchise guy. That's how they put him on every billboard. They give him, they sell his jersey out the wazoo. He's the guy you want to see really turn it up, and he's hitting that sophomore slump. The question becomes, everyone's up in arms about it. Like, oh my God, is he what we think he should be? Is the coach holding him back? Because a lot of it comes down to ice time right now. They don't love his minutes. But if you're asking me, give a guy time. Give a guy time. He's not going to jump in, tear it up right away. Can't compare him to anybody else. He's his own person, and I think he's going to be fine.
Well said. Yeah, in any sport, now that I think about it, you got me sold on that take, Frosty. Give it some time. And if it doesn't pay, I don't know that I would go all in on a team that is a question mark, right? Like, if there's still a question mark of maybe are they on the brink of making the playoffs, I think, hey, maybe wait to see what we have. Let these young guys develop, and hopefully the Flyers will be okay. Because like you said, I can't remember the last time I heard Philly sports radio talk about Flyers, especially this much too. And it's refreshing because I really want playoff. And I've said this before in the past. It's something I've never experienced, right? Because the last time the Flyers were in the playoffs, I was like 12. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, right? Like, everybody that's from Philadelphia knows it's Eagles and Phillies, 1 and 2 for most people. So it's no disrespect to the Flyers. Flyers are a great franchise. But throughout most of our life, I wouldn't say bad, I just say mediocre. And then now that they're getting back on this kick, I can't tell you what that. I feel like now the atmosphere is more built for playoff hockey too. Because hear me out. Now, I'm not saying, I mean, maybe we would, but I'm not saying we're going to tailgate a playoff game. We would. But when you think about what the 2025-2026 Philadelphia Flyers fan at a playoff game would look like, embracing that full-on Philly we were assholes before, but we had some class. Especially the Flyers fans, I feel like, have always had class, right? I feel like now we all just buy in to that we're assholes in Philadelphia, and we like it, and we embrace it. And I just feel like if you think that the Eagles is a tough atmosphere to play in for the playoffs, imagine that indoors, contained. And that's what I'm thinking of with the Flyers. Gets me excited thinking about that. Sorry.
That would be one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen, like a sea of orange in the Wells Fargo Center.
Just going nuts.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to hear yourself. Like, the Link gets loud, CBP gets loud, but I have never experienced the Xfinity Mobile Arena now. I've never experienced like a sea of orange just going bonkers, and then like a fight breaks out. The play, oh my god, a big hit, dude. Like that to me. And I'm not even like a hockey guy, right? But that to me turns me on. You know what I mean? I only watch hockey for the hits and for the fights. But if I see a sea of orange at I still call it the Wells Fargo Center. At the Wells Fargo Center, screaming, going nuts. That turns me on. And you got a competent hockey team that you can watch every single night. And that's what you want. But I think I also agree. And my whole entire life of listening to sports radio, I have never actually heard people talk about the Flyers. Even when they were like good and they were like in the post, like you never talked about the Flyers. It was like weird. And that's no shade on the Flyers fans, but man, it was like a weird topic. But I think like you got guys now that are coming in like Broads. I mean, Broads talked about the Flyers all the time on WIP, right? So you have people that are trying to change the atmosphere because to me, you can't talk about Philly sports and then not talk about the Flyers at the same time. So I think like the hockey team's starting to become more relevant and people watching it. I think it's going to shape the whole landscape of it. But I think it's cool that we may have a chance at a postseason. I'm not going to speak too early. Maybe some postseason hockey. And the fact that we're getting some Flyers talk in Philadelphia is ridiculously good.
As a Flyers guy myself, I love it. You guys hit the nail on the head. But it's funny because that's like the exact conundrum of being a Flyers fan right now. Because if you follow them closely, like I go to every game, I'm watching every game. I plan my days around watching the Flyers and all the other teams as well. But I'm into it. Made sure I was representing today. But I want that Flyers hockey too. Or the playoff hockey rather. The question becomes, is that the right direction for the overall future? Because ultimately, right, you don't want to just make it 1 year and then never see it for the next 5. You want to build for the future. That's the question. My view, the team, Danny Briere, to his credit, has done great at free agent acquisitions and signings and trades overall. These guys that he brings in that look like nobodies, they turn into guys you can trade for assets. That's how you build the future for this team. I think that their best move is you ride the wave as long as it'll take you, but ultimately you still need to be sellers. You build the future, and I think in a year or two we're going to have consistent playoff hockey for years to come, and they're going to continue to stay mainstream. It's going to be super exciting.
Well, no, I mean, I agree with that, though. See, to me, like in a young team, like I said, everybody wants a postseason game. Everybody wants postseason hockey or baseball, whatever it is. But you have a young team right now that, like I keep saying, is competitive. You also don't want to rush that. You don't want to rush it and be like, we're going to throw you into the fire and then hope you survive. No. Yeah, if you get there, that's outstanding. So I think you had the right analogy of ride the wave as long as it takes you. So I'm fully okay with that because I think if they ride the wave, it's going to take them into the postseason. Where in the postseason, I don't know, right? I have no idea. But I think they ride this wave because it's competent hockey. They're a fun team. They're exciting to watch. I think they're pretty good. They're going to get into the postseason. Most likely they're going to ride. I think the wave takes them there, but I also don't think that you have to, be buyers and put all your marbles into this team right now. Ride the wave and see what happens. But I definitely think this team's capable of making the postseason and definitely in the upcoming years, man. I think they're there.
I agree. Well said.
Mike's muted, Dalt.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see where this Flyers team goes next. But that was a bunch of fun talking about the Flyers. Now we're going to pivot into the Birds. So first off, first topic, getting right into it, we got keys to success. I want to just really quick, though, talk about last week's game. First off, I want to show a little show and tell souvenir. First off, dig the socks? Yeah.
Ooh.
So here's a little story time. Do not wear Uggs to an Eagles game. Even if they're waterproofed, I probably want it. These weren't waterproofed. Idiot, moronic, rookie mistake by the Dutchman. So my shoes, Uggs, get soaked. Want to give a huge shout out to KJ McCoy because he had a pair of boots. He was like adamant in the car that he did not want to wear these boots. He wanted to wear his sneakers. And I'm like, bro, you should wear your boots. Like, you're going to get frostbite. Like, I'm wearing my Uggs. I didn't think at this moment that my Uggs were going to get soaked. He's like, nah. I want to wear these sneakers. I want to wear these kicks. I'm like, okay, fine. So he wears the kicks. I think he was planning on putting back on the boots, but he's like, dude, if you stop complaining, I'll let you wear my boots. I'm like, fuck it. All right. So he lets me wear his boots. One predicament. My socks are fucking soaked. So I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm going to get like frostbite. Like, this is not going to be fun. Like, this is like not a good deal. Turns out being one of the best Eagles games I ever went to, because there's an outdoor trailer now where they sell merchandise. Walk up, hey, how you doing? Can I get these pairs of socks? I was going to buy the Cooper DeJean and Saquon Barkley socks, and the lady looks at me and she goes, are your socks wet? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I got you. She brings out these. They're like freaking heavy duty, legit socks. So I buy 2 pairs, slap them bad boys on, go to the car, warm up, throw on KJ's boots. I was good for the rest of the day. And you know what? She even talked me into getting a pin for my collection. But you know what? I'm so happy that I got, because I do collect pins. I've been collecting pins for about 3 years. I have them in the studio. It's just cool to look back on. But she's like, do you want a game day pin? And I'm like, yeah, I want a game day pin. $15 fucking for a game day pin. God damn. Sorry. Golly. But
how much did the socks run you?
I think the socks were cheaper than the pin. They might have been 12 a piece or 14 a piece, and the pin's $16. Yeah, the socks weren't too bad, I believe. I think it was the pin that was bad. But this bad boy, I will always look back on because the shutout. So here's my key to success. I just wanted to have a little bit of story time because that was such a memorable game. The tailgate was awesome. We got hopefully a vlog dropping soon. We got to just do a couple more tweaks. But yeah, that was insane atmosphere, and the defense showed up. So that is my key to success today. Is I want to see the defense not only show up, but have fun. When they're having fun, they are a dangerous unit. So I want to see them flying around, high flying, Cooper DeJean jumping up and down, Jordan Davis singing opera, people smiling, BG smiling. I want to see good vibes on that defense. And I just want another belt to ass, because this is another team that the Eagles could end up beating. So we'll see. All right, Havens. Yeah. Okay. But that's all I got.
I think for me, my keys to the game, I think there's been a lot of talk, and we're going to get into it more. But I think there's been a lot of talk. Is this a style points win, or are you okay with walking out of there with just a win? And to me, I need to see style points. Look, you beat up on the Raiders, great, because that's the team you're supposed to beat. I'm not bought back into this football team after beating the Raiders. Just not going to happen. So in order for me to be bought back in, and I'm not saying I'm going to get bought back in if you beat Washington. I think, to me, my benchmark is if you beat Buffalo. But you go in, you beat Washington, and you got to go in, put up points, man. The Commanders stink. You're better than them. And you have to be able to put up points now. Now it's time. You got to get the offense in rhythm. You know what the defense is going to bring you. Since Jalen Carter's been out, this defense has just put offensive lines and quarterbacks in blunders and have destroyed everybody. Since Jalen Carter hasn't been there, they destroyed everybody. You know what the defense is going to bring it. Washington blows. The defense is going to help you out big time. I need to see the offense put up points. I need to see the offense in a rhythm. I need to see Jalen Hurts do what everybody claims he can do. I need to see outside of Jalen Hurts. I think the biggest thing for me to be actually turned back onto this football team, I need to see Saquon Barkley have a good game. I don't think people realize that in order to win in the postseason, you need to have all facets of the game rocking and rolling. The Eagles still, and I thought Saquon Barkley was a little bit better last week, and a little bit better versus Chargers too, like the past 2 weeks. But I needed to see him have a vintage Barkley game, and because in the postseason that helps you win. That's a big. You have to be able to win in all facets of the game. And look, I need to see the offense move on all cylinders. I need to see Jalen Hurts have another good game, and I need to see the offense hum with Saquon Barkley tearing runs, taking them to the house, putting up yards. I need to see, because Here's the thing. And we want to win a Super Bowl. That is the ultimate goal. We want to get out of this slump that we're in, or collapse that I call it, because I still believe it's a collapse. So we want to get out of that. But I think the way you got to get out of it, you have to see Saquon Barkley and this offense get into a rhythm. And we've seen Jalen Hurts bounce back last week. Hopefully he continues it into this week and in the next couple weeks. But Saquon Barkley, to me, is the key to success. You have to be able to put up points, and you need to be able to have the run game, not only for this week, not only for the rest of the season, but you need it for the postseason. I need Saquon Barkley to be my key to success tonight.
I think even building off Saquon Barkley, too, I think one other major story is that O-line. As much as Saquon hasn't quite looked like the Saquon of 2024, the O-line hasn't done a great job blocking for him, and it really just for him, run blocking, or even just giving Jalen Hurts more time in the pocket. I want to see the offensive line be dominant, open up those holes for Saquon. But beyond that, I think the second thing is, too, another storyline we've seen all year is let's keep it clean. We've seen a lot of undisciplined penalties and brutal moments in the game that really set them back. Play clean. That way you can carry that into the rest of the season. And, you can't beat yourselves, especially against a bad team like Washington, and especially when you're playing a good team come next week in Buffalo. But my last note, too, is I think they know, I would assume, what's at stake today. We win today. That's an NFC East, championship there. First time in 20 years that we're going to have a repeat champion if the Eagles can get it done today. And as a fan, I would rather celebrate that after an Eagles win more than a Dallas loss. As sweet as it is to see Dallas lose, I want the Eagles to go out there and grasp it themselves, bring it home themselves, so we really have something to get excited about, get the fan base a little bit more juiced up.
Hey, I'm seeing it right now all over Instagram. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Clinchmas. That's what people are calling it today. Shout out to BMU, our guy Brandon Marsh Updates. He's saying Clinchmas. I like that. I might have to take that one, BMU. I'll give you a shout out. I'll tag you. I got you. But Clinchmas, I can see it now. Today, and this is a team that I don't want them to win by a touchdown or two. I'll be happy if they win, right? We're taking anything we can get at this point. But they realistically, on paper, with Jaden Daniels being out, should still, I think, win by 17 points. It should at least be 27-10 or 37-20. They should at least get ahead by 17, 2 scores and a field goal. I would like to see. That's another thing, too. Jake Elliott, lock in, because it's December now. We're going to be in the playoffs before we know it. And yes, some of these field goals, we've gotten lucky. We've won the game. Some of them have costed us the game. That's fine. But when we get to the playoffs, if that happens there, it's going to be not a good scenario. Good morning. What's going on, Billy O'Keefe? Good to see you here, bro. But yeah, for a Commanders preview, I'm very excited for this game. I do think that the defensive line should get home. They should get pressure on. Is it Mariota who's playing?
Yep.
Yeah. That's going to be. God bless Marcus Mariota, right? This dude it's a decade now this year. He was drafted in 2016, I think. And remember when we, as Eagles fans, at least me, I'll be the first to admit I was wrong. We were brainwashed into thinking, oh, maybe Chip Kelly will trade for Mariota and maybe this will be a good move and we'll give up all these picks for this guy. Yeah, that would not have been a good move. That would not have went well. But man, the Eagles, I feel just have an interesting relationship with Marcus Mariota. And I see Marcus Mariota getting sacked a minimum of 5 times tonight. I had the vision that's so Raven in my head. Oh, yeah, right there. 5 times, maybe 6. Who knows?
Is it confirmed? I was going to say, is it confirmed that Jalen Carter's playing today?
I heard he's out.
He's out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just saw that on my phone too. So same thing.
Him, Lane, and Fred, I'm pretty sure Fred Johnson's out. Isn't he out too? And there's another guy out.
Even with those injuries, though, I still think that they should win by a minimum of 2 scores.
There is no reason why the Philadelphia Eagles can't put up 30-plus points on Washington. I mean, look, I'm so over it, man. I'm so over this shit. And I'm not even trying to cuss, but like, a win's a win. No, a win's not a win. A win's not a win, man. You beat up on the Raiders. You only put up 31 points. Should have been more, whatever the case is. Fine. You got a bounce back win. You shut them out. Great. The Raiders blow. Washington is just as bad. They're a little bit better. They're just as bad. You have to be able to put up points. Bottom line, you got to crush them. At the end of the season, when you know a team's failing, they're tanking, they blow, and you have a team that's collapsing, but also trying to make the Super Bowl, if that makes, and both worlds, that makes sense. You have to crush the teams that are in front of you and that suck. And I'm tired of these, if it's a 10-7 win, it's okay, at least we won. No. They have to put up points. They have to crush them. They have to win at all facets of the game. Jalen Hurts has to have a good game. Saquon Barkley needs to hit home. Offensive line and these stupid penalties. I thought they were much better last week against the Raiders. The penalties were cleaned up much better. But they're known to be undisciplined, so I need to see that continue to be cleaned up. I think the defense is going to shine once again. I mean, look, coming into every game, my talking point is never about being scared about the defense. I know the defense is going to get you, and if they're having a hard time, I know Vic Fangio is going to make adjustments. But tonight, once again, falls on the offense. You need to get into a rhythm. You need to put up points. Barkley needs to get going. Like Frosty said, offensive line needs to get going now. Jalen Hurts needs to continue the game that he had from last week. And because now you're at the point where you're pretty much locked in the 3 seed or the 2 seed if you eventually get it, whatever the case is. Time to get the offense in a rhythm. Time to put up points. Time to get your confidence right, because I don't care who you play, whether it's the worst team ever or the best team ever. If you beat them, your confidence skyrockets no matter who you beat. So I'll tell you this. Put up points. Beat them. Crush them. Kill them. Tonight, and that's it. That's it. That's the key to the game. That's the Commanders preview. There's no preview. Washington sucks. We're good, and we should be good, and we should freaking kill them right here, right now. They should not have a chance after the first half. They should just come out and be like, oh, we're done. Just kill them. Put them out of their misery. It's over. I need to see the Philadelphia Eagles today stomp on the Washington Commanders and show everybody, including myself, they have balls, they have guts, because I don't think they have it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm still right. We're going to find out, but I'm not happy about a win versus Washington unless they kill them. 14, 17 plus. I need that.
Nah, I'm with you there. I mean, so going back to last week, I was kind of curious about this because I was watching the game, and now I'll say that there was definitely some better play calling, but ultimately I felt it was a case of we were still doing similar plays that like didn't look all that pretty. Just at the end of the day, the Raiders suck. Our mediocre play calling or bad play calling at that should still beat the Raiders. They are that bad. What did you guys think of that? And do I don't know if that's going to fly against the Commanders, just because in times past, bad Commanders teams have still played well against the Eagles for whatever reason. We've lost 2 games to NFC East opponents this year. We split with the Giants and the Cowboys. The Commanders at this point, this is your 3rd chance. You got to take, starting today, you got to start off right, step on their throats, take them out.
Yeah. I mean, to me, though, I believe that the offensive play calling to me, I thought the Chargers game was better, and I thought last week was better. And that's just my opinion, right? I saw a little bit different runs, and I don't know, maybe because last week, and this is why I wasn't ready to hop back on the train, because everybody after the game, including these phony radio stations, you listen to them all last week, the past 3 weeks, the sky's falling in. They sounded like me, but now we win and everything's glamorous and Jalen Hurts the best quarterback of all time. No. You got to stick with what you truly believe. So they're phony to me. But this is why you're supposed to beat the Raiders. No matter how bad you are, you're supposed to beat the Raiders. The Raiders are not good. And I thought the offensive play calling was a little bit better, but I can't judge the offensive play calling versus a team that couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat. Like, they couldn't do anything right. I mean, it doesn't matter. You could have the greatest coach ever. They couldn't do anything right. And so to me, I thought the offensive play calling was better. Maybe it's because we put up a little bit of points, and versus the Chargers, Saquon broke free for a run, and whatever the case was, I thought the offensive play form was a little bit better, and Jalen lost you the game against the Chargers. But last week, we put up points, and I thought it was better, but to me, it's still very hard to judge the offensive play call versus a team that just can't do it. They couldn't guard geezers in the men's league. They couldn't do anything right. So, and to me, the best way I put it on my show was I was encouraged. I was encouraged by the way that they kind of bounced back. It's the Raiders, though, man. See, there's two sides of my brain. It's like this side over, it's the Raiders. And this side, it's like, hey, I was encouraged. So I don't know. We're going to find out. But to me, and I said this earlier, Buffalo to me is the benchmark. You beat Buffalo by, the 10-plus points, I think I'm bought back in. But I need to see the offensive play call be better versus an actually good defense and team. And I think Washington's better than the Raiders. So we're going to find out. We're going to see. Let's see if he builds on this, though. But I'd say this, just to wrap it up, though, just to wrap this up. Since Sirianni has been more involved, whether that's true or false, the offense has looked a little bit better. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think for me, it's got to be the offense too. Like, I want to see Devontae Smith get the ball and not just a touchdown, right? Like, I want to see 120-plus yard Smitty game. Smitty actually, I think, historically, some of his best games, at least from what I remember, are against the Commanders. Like, the Commanders are a team, I feel like, where Smitty and AJ can both go for 100-plus yards. So it's really up to Jalen today, right? Like, going off of that, too, I want to see a Jalen Hurts 4 passing touchdown game today. Like, give me the Jalen Hurts legacy game today. Give me Jalen Hurts 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 passing touchdowns and at least 1 rushing touchdown game. Could you imagine what that would look like? Like, could you imagine how that would just shut up the media, shut up guys like us, shut up radio stations, shut up the national media, ESPN, and then he could come up on the stand and have some cool ass quote like, pressure will reveal itself, or something like, I don't know, whatever the fuck, some kind of fortune cookie saying. It's like, that's probably where he gets half of his lines is he orders Chinese food off DoorDash, comes, he's like, cool, I need 34 fortune cookies too. They're like, for what? He's like, I'll tell you later. And like, I don't know, he probably has a fortune cookie that he would say to that from leftover from last time. My point is, I want to see Jalen locked in, like grounded, confident, because I believe it was the game a couple years ago when the stadium almost killed him and fell on him. Didn't he ball out that game
that's right.
before that?
Oh, I don't remember which one. I remember the one he got hurt, and the other one I can't remember it too well.
I'm going to look that up in the background right now if you want to take it, Frosty. But I want to see, I feel like he balled out that game.
I love the sound of what you're saying here. And going back, I think we've seen a lot of chatter with Devontae Smith. And I'm going to be completely honest. I am completely biased in what I'm about to say because, A, Devontae Smith is my favorite Eagle. I love seeing him ball out. B, he's on my fantasy team. I'm in the semifinals. I need him to ball out to get me back in the game because, C, I played against Puka Nacua. So I would love to see Smitty go off for 120 yards. Not even 2 touchdowns. Give me 3 touchdowns because that connection is going to be there. I think that Jalen to Devontae Smith has looked better this year overall than it has Jalen to A.J. Brown. And, and a bizarre statistic, but, when A.J. Brown had those 3 games of over 100-plus yards, that's when they lost 3 straight. So I think that I would love to see Smitty get going today. That's what I'd like to see. But overall, bias aside, let's just see. I agree with Jalen Hurts just needs to get going. 4 passing touchdowns is a high standard,
high expectation.
High. But I would love to see him do it. But the only downside I can think of is he could do that today. Hell, he could put up 5 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. And I could see the media already. They're gonna look at it and be like, it's the Washington Commanders. Who cares? I would care. I would care a lot. But they do anything to discredit Jalen Hurts for whatever reason, and I get that he had that bad game against the Chargers, but they got to get. I will stand by my quarterback. They still got to give more respect to him, and I think that today's a day that we're going to see things click in a good way. That because I also love seeing the Commanders lose because their fans have one good year. Next thing you know, they think that they're hot shit. So
And one thing too, real quick,
Go ahead.
the stats from the game, just so everybody's aware, that game before the thing collapsed on him in January of 2022, 17 for 26, 214 yards, and he ran 6 times for 45 yards. So he was pretty efficient doing it both in that game. Let's just hope that nothing collapses on him this time. All right, knock on wood. But anyway, go ahead, take it, Broad.
I tell you this though, I need to see, and I don't think we've talked about it at all. I think Jalen Hurts needs to run the football today. Did you see how that offense looked last week when Jalen Hurts put in a little bit of runs? It mixes it up. And I'm just saying Jalen doesn't want to get hurt, and the organization doesn't want Jalen to get hurt. But you have to look at it. You want the team to win. You want to do whatever it takes for the team to win. And to me, you finally saw it opened it up. You were able to pass, you were able to run, and you were able to run with Jalen. So I think we need to see some more runs from Jalen Hurts, and that to me, I've been talking about that all year. I think you need that. But on Frosty's point, though, and I've talked about this a lot. When AJ Brown doesn't get spoon-fed the football, look at how the offense operates. When Jalen Hurts could actually pass the football to Dallas Goedert for 2 touchdowns or whatever it was, and Devontae. And we can hand the ball off to Saquon, right? And Jalen can do his QB design runs. And we don't have to just spoon feed the football to A.J. Brown so he doesn't go on social media and flip a lid and do whatever he does. The offense actually looks competent. Has anybody else realized the offense looks like they can put up points when you don't have to worry about throwing the football to A.J. Brown nonstop? And I understand we're going to throw the football to A.J. I'm perfectly fine with that. But they wanted to get A.J. the ball like every single pass. And that's not right. That's not going to help you win. And it's not sustainable. And when they did that, they lost. And now they're getting away from it. They're starting to look better offensively. So I think that today, as I've said, huge opportunity to buy people back in. If they win big time, I'm getting closer. I keep saying Buffalo's that benchmark because Buffalo's a good team. They're fighting for their lives just like we are. We need to beat them. But I think today you have to crush them. I have to see an offense where Smitty gets the ball, Goddard gets the football, Saquon Barkley has a good game. I need to see a clean and good game from the Eagles tonight, put Washington out of their misery, and just allow everybody to kind of like take a deep breath and say, okay, I'm kind of getting back into this team now. Because a lot of people were brought back in after last week. I'm not one of them. But I'm just not. Well, I can't be. You beat the Raiders, man. You know what I mean? I can't be. And on Frosty's point, I am a Jalen Hurts quote unquote hater, and I don't want to be a Jalen Hurts hater. But here's the thing, though. I'm a Jalen Hurts praiser, and I'm a Jalen Hurts hater because when Jalen Hurts has a good game, it is rightfully so to him that he gets praised for the good game. And when he has a bad game, I'm obviously going to critique him. So what's the difference? You think I want to come down to my studio every game and talk about my quarterback blowing? No, I don't want to do that. I want to talk about how good he is. I don't want to do that. So I'll tell you that. Just on your point, though, with Jalen Hurts, I critique him when he does bad, and I praise him when he does good. I think that's the equal balance of media, though.
I think Dalt's comment there went under the radar about the commentator. That was crazy.
That was crazy.
That was good.
That was funny. He got suspended 2 games. I don't know if you guys saw that.
So he wasn't fired. It was just suspended.
Yep. I think people were odd about it because the Flyers released a statement saying that he was suspended. And just for context, for those that don't know what we're talking about, Tim Saunders, radio Flyers play-by-play guy, got caught with a hot mic. What was it? Tuesday or Wednesday against the Buffalo Sabres, and I'm not going to repeat what he said, but it was contentious at that. And it went really under the radar. If you were listening or if you're part of Flyers, social media, that's the only way you heard about it. It was pretty quiet for the most part. And then the next day, the Flyers released a statement about it and it said that he's suspended for 2 games. Next thing you know, it's everywhere. So some people were like, that's a little bit of a PR disaster. But it was pretty funny at the very least.
It was
I
typical
mean,
Philly.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was funny though, and every comment section that I like seen it on Instagram, everybody was defending the guy. Did you see that? Everybody was defending him. Like,
Yeah, they
look,
were.
I don't care, man. You know what I mean? People say dumb things here and there. It is what it is. He thought he was on commercial break. Was it that great of a sentence? No, but people were defending him, and from what I hear, that guy's a great play-by-play.
Oh,
So,
he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. Like, he's up. I mean, I don't know if I put him on Merle Reese level, but he's right there. Like, he's very iconic. Whenever you hear a goal scored, you know exactly who's talking. That and like, luckily for him, I think the Flyers were playing such slop against a bad team at that moment in time that people were more focused on what was going on the ice than afterwards. They're like, I don't blame the guy. The Flyers look like crap out there, so it is what it is. That and like, it was a good 15 to 20 second buffer between when it should have went to commercial break to when he said it. Like, that was kind of crazy. I would be a little salty with the guy that didn't cut to commercial break there, but it was still a funny moment.
Yeah, I agree. I think too, it's nothing lasts nowadays that long too with social media because there's always the next thing, right? So this will come, it'll go, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the Flyers go next from here, like we were saying. But that's pretty much all we got for you guys today. I want to get everybody out of here just before 11 a.m. so everybody can go enjoy their Saturday. Please do us a favor, and if you guys haven't, give our guy at Frosty from Philly a follow on Instagram. Dalton, we appreciate you joining us, brother.
Thank you for having me. Always a blast to talk it up with you guys. Love it.
We love it too, man. We'll get you back on here soon. Like I said, pleasure. Broad, thank you for joining us, man. I appreciate you as always. I hope you have a good
always
rest
a
of your
good
weekend.
time. Always a great time, man.
And it's game day. I mean, and shout out to Jaden, our producer backstage. Couldn't do it without you, man. Thank you very much. I don't know, bro. I kind of want like a hype speech from you to end the show or something. I don't know if you could give me like a game day or a Go Birds or something, or if Frosty wants to give one.
We got 3 games today, and all I'm saying is so far this year, it's been bad when we got 3 teams in one day. Everyone remembers the infamous October 9th, 2025. It's stained in my brain. 0-3. That was brutal. It happened, I think, a week later because we had the Union play and they lost. And then we had one more last week when the Raiders played. And thank God the Eagles got it done because the Flyers and Sixers did it. I want to see 3-0 today. The Eagles, I feel good about. The New York Rangers, who the Flyers play, suck at home. That's who I want to see them win. And the big one is going to be the Sixers against the Mavericks tonight. This is the best chance I feel at a 3-0 Philadelphia sweep. I could use it. Christmas is around the corner. Santa's going to come a little early. That's what I want today, and that's what I'm feeling today. I'll be repping all 3 teams with my attire today. I'm ready to rock and roll today.
Let's go. That's what we needed.
Here we go.
Hey, get us hyped. Let's go, Birds. If you guys aren't doing anything, come out to Founding Brothers around 3:30, 4 o'clock. Newark, Delaware. We will be there doing a little watch party. It should be fun. And KJ McCoy will be there. I know he'll be hanging out. We got Andrew, Philly the Dogs owner, will be there, and a couple other people. So if you guys aren't doing anything, all are welcome. Newark, Delaware, not too far from anywhere. If anybody needs the address, just let me know. But other than that, I hope everybody has a great week. I hope everybody has a safe week. Broad, did you want to say anything before we wrapped up?
I just want to say, you know what? I had some time while Frosty was saying what he was saying. You know, all week, my mood has been ruined by the Philadelphia Phillies, and I know we haven't talked about the Phillies. My mood has been ruined. That's why I'm wearing the black Phillies hat. They pissed me off. Dave Dombrowski should be fired. But you know what? My anger, my disappointment ends today when the Eagles put up 38 points against the Washington Commanders and only hold them to 10 points, and it's a bloody massacre, and everybody's brought back into this football team, and we go on an insane run, and then when the game's over, I can sit down and watch Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe lead the Sixers to an amazing, immaculate win, and the Flyers, I'm sure I hear from Frosty, because that's going to be on somewhere. I'll see the score somewhere. Hope they win, but today's a big day. Screw the Phillies. They're the least of my worries. Let's go Birds. Let's go Flyers. And let's go Sixers.
The best part is all the games are staggered. All
Yeah,
the games
all
are staggered. You can watch them right in a row. Flyers,
Watch all of
12:30, Eagles, and then Sixers. You could just sit on the couch all day and enjoy your teams.
That's me. That's what the Phillies wanted. Yeah, they scheduled this perfectly. The Phillies all week were just stringing everybody, and then they said, "Oh well, everybody will be calmed down Saturday when this Flyers, Eagles, and the Sixers play, and then we'll fire it back up Sunday." That's how it's going to go. But one day, hopefully, 3-0, and I will not be disappointed until the Phillies and Dave Dombrowski make their next move.
Let's do it.
That's it.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Have a great and safe weekend. Go give everybody a follow. And AJ Brown Depot!
Listening to Sippin' Sports, a Phillies sports talk morning show with